Hi everyone, thank you for joining me. So today I just want to share the steps I use in making a sleeve curve, and the measurement I used for this is the round wrists and also the length of the curve. So let's go ahead and make this, guys. So the round wrist of my client is 8 inches, and I'm going to be adding 1.5 inch to that to make this 9.5 inches because I want the sleeve curve to overlap. Now I'm just going to show you guys what I have here. As you can see, I have 10 inches worth of interfacing. I'm just going to adjust this to the 9.5 because that is the width of the sleeves curve. So I'm going to be making use of 9.5, and I told you guys the reason. It's because I will be overlapping the curve on the wrist. And if you don't have your interfacing, you can use your pattern to draft this out first, and when you're able to get your interfacing, you place your pattern on your interfacing and cut. And yeah, 9.5, that is the width of the curve. Now let me show you guys the length. The length of the sleeve curve is going to be 3 inches long. So you determine how long you want your sleeve curve to be and the shape you want it to be. So right now I'm just going to go ahead and fold the interfacing into 2. And you guys, this is a really hard interfacing, so I'm just going to fold it into 2. And as you can see, all edges are equal, and I'm making the shape I want to see on the sleeve curve. I just want it to have this shape. It's nothing serious. You can determine how you want yours to look, so it doesn't exactly need to look like mine. Just go ahead and make the design you want your curve to be. And here you have it. This is what I want, and I'm just going to show you guys the width I have after folding into 2. So I have 4 half and quarter. So now I'm just going to place the interfacing on the folded fabric. So you need to have 2 layers of fabric. Make sure you have 2 layers of fabric. If you don't have fabric to fold, just make sure you double the fabric. And I'm just going to place my interfacing on the fabric, making sure that the gum part is what I'm placing on the fabric. And you guys, place this in a way that you have allowance round the sleeve curve. So as you can see, there is allowance around it, like there's enough allowance around it. So I'm just going to go in with my hot iron and lay this on the fabric. So because it has gum on the side that is placed on the fabric, this is going to automatically gum the interface into the fabric. I'm just going to make sure that there is allowance around the interfacing. So as you can see what I'm doing, I'm just cutting in a way that there's going to be allowance round this particular interfacing. So you can go ahead and leave ½ inches round, or you can leave more than that. Just make sure that when sewing, just go ahead and sew very, very close to the interfacing, like very, very, very close. You can, even if you can trace the line before sewing, just do that. Make sure you sew very, very close to the interfacing. So before I take this to my machine to sew, I'm going to fold in the base of the curve, the sleeve curve. I'm going to fold the allowance there. I'll make sure it lays flat. So this is practically what we're going to do after sewing the interfacing. We're going to still come back and fold the allowance, the other allowance on the sleeve base, that's the curve base, sorry. So yeah. Now I'll take this to the machine and sew very, very, very close to the interfacing. And once I'm done doing that, this is how it looks. I'm just going to cut out the allowance. So because we sewed very close, now we can cut out the unnecessary fabric on round this interfacing, leaving the base because we're going to fold in the base. I'm just going to go ahead and flip this to the right side. And you guys are going to see how it looks. I will use my scissors to bring out all the fabrics from the inside, and this is how it looks. So for it to lay flat, I still have to go in with my iron. So I'm just going to use the iron to make sure this lay flat. And now I'll go ahead and fold in the allowance on the base. That's what I said, like we're practically going to just do that before this point. I did the first one before sewing, and I said we're going to still fold in the other side of the fabric, like the fabric that doesn't have the interfacing. We're still going to fold in the allowance on the base there. So that's what I'm doing. Make sure that the folded edges are equal. So we're just folding the fabric in. And to make sure it lays and sits in flat, I'm just going to use my hot iron again and make sure that everything is laying really, really flat and clean. And now this is the sleeves. I already went ahead to open up my sleeve. So now I'm just going to place the sleeves between the curve, the sleeve curve. So I'm just going to place the sleeve there. And if your sleeve is wider than the sleeve curve, there is no problem. Don't be alarmed. Just go ahead and pleat. So you can just, at this point, you can decide to even, design it in a very fancy and, very creative way. Just go ahead and pleat and make sure that all the fabrics fit into the sleeve curve. So you can see I'm using the my pins first to make sure I get it right before I take this to my machine to sew. So just go ahead and place the sleeve between the curve, in between the curve, and then while doing this, pin this so it just sits, and then once you're satisfied, you take this to the machine and sew. And you guys, this is what I have. As you can see, everything is looking very clean and it's all seated properly. I'm just going to go ahead and iron this out so you guys see how beautiful the sleeve curve looks. So you guys, this is practically it. Well, we're done. And like I said I wanted it to overlap, and this is how much I want it to overlap. So I'm just going to go ahead and iron this out. Thank you so much for watching. This is all I have for you today. I hope you learned something today. Please let me know in the comment section if this was any help. And yeah, if you're new, go ahead and subscribe. And you guys, I love you guys so much. Continue being creative. I'll see you guys on my next video. Bye.